Wow.
Well, today we're joined by two of the co-founders of ONE FC, Blaise Matuidi and Kieran Gibbs. Great to have you both here. Pleasure to do this. Between them, they've experienced the highest of highs in world football, winning World Cups, FA Cups, league titles, playing across England and Italy and France, and growing up in the academies in England and France with elite football. But what's interesting about this conversation is what you're both doing now, what you're building with ONE FC, and what you've chosen to do after professional football. Because ONE FC isn't just another academy, as we'll learn. It's a reflection of everything that you've lived, that you've learned, and in some cases, what you might have felt was missing. So today I want to go a bit deeper than, winning the World Cup and playing for, some of the best teams in the world. But we want to go back to where it all started, some of that journey for you, the moments that shaped you, and the people that changed your trajectory, and how all of that has now turned into what you're doing at ONE FC. So I'm excited for this conversation, excited to hear from you both. But what we'll start with is one sentence each from you about, for Blaise, what does it feel like having won the World Cup? And we'll get a bit more into that later on, but, one sentence, what did it feel like?
Incredible. This was a dream that came true,
Yeah.
We'll go back later on, but it's an amazing sensation. Even now, when I'm looking at that, I have some.
You got the tingles. Yeah, amazing.
In my arm. So yeah, it's
Brilliant.
Amazing session.
And Kieran, playing for Arsenal for over 10 years, winning 3 FA Cups. What does it feel like when you look back at your time at Arsenal?
I mean, it's impressive because there are levels to this game, right? And this clearly shows with this World Cup standing here, which I got nowhere near. But I have to say, I think for me, the best way I can describe it is a big rush of different emotions, all put into one, and then exploding. From when you make your debut, for your club, representing the national team, lifting the trophy, all of these moments I think were summed up like that.
Yeah, pretty special. But let's go right back to the start when you're 12, 13, 14 years of old, inside the academy system. What does a normal day look like? Blaise, we'll start with you. Inside the academy in France, what does a normal day look like at 12 years old?
Yeah, so I had the chance to enter to Clairefontaine. So on that day, I remember going to school, obviously.
Yes.
Actually, you still need to go to school, and you just start. You are the beginning of your long way at school, and I was let's say at in the morning going to the school with the team. It was out of the academy, so take a car, going there, spending all day in the school, and at 3 p.m. Going back and take our shoes, take our ball. I have already all the time, the ball.
Yeah.
Into my arm and walking to the practice.
Amazing.
So Monday to Friday, and then on Friday, waiting my dad. He was always late to go back home.
Right.
So basically, we were 5 days in the academy, and 2 days we go back home, and we played with our proper team.
Yeah, on the weekends.
On the weekends.
And then Monday morning, you're back.
Monday morning, back. So, yeah.
And how early did that start? Was that 12 for you?
12 years. I was 12 years at the time. 12 years old. Sorry. Yeah, it's not easy. Not
Yeah.
easy. It was not easy because left my family. At 12 years old.
Mm.
It's something that is not common to
No.
people, and so it was not easy for my mom. Not easy.
Yeah, I bet.
I think easy maybe for my dad. It's different. But yeah, I was the last in the family. Brother and sister, we were five.
Mm.
So yeah, it was a difficult time.
Yeah.
But at some point, I had one objective, one goal.
That's it. Yeah.
I was dreaming. I loved playing soccer. I loved having the ball into my feet. So this was my joy.
Yeah.
My joy
yeah.
is to have the ball.
And that was your environment that you were in every day.
That was my environment completely. That I was every day. With let's say my brother, because they start to come. We start as a friend, but staying all together 5 days. Without dad, without mom.
Yeah, they become your family.
We became family. So this are my best memories. Clairefontaine. I spent 3 years there.
Yeah,
and yes, that was the journey.
And what's expected of you when you're at the academy at 12, 13 years old? More than just playing football, but what else is expected of you as a kid, as a teenager?
Yeah, the behavior, obviously, to behave and to be good at school.
Was you good at school?
So. But when you practice every single day and you have competition, because we were in competition between us.
Yes.
You are competition every single day. It's hard to stay focused, but at least to have the behave, because it was not just to form the player. It was also to form good human base. Good people. So the education was part of the academy.
That was a priority for them.
That was the priority for them. So we had the directors that always every week take our book and see if the teacher didn't write something wrong from us. And yes, it was our habit, and I was a good boy. I was a good boy. There were people that was not good.
So if you didn't do well in the week, would that affect whether you were playing or?
So basically, I was playing in the weekend with my let's say neighborhood teams.
Yeah, your hometown.
But the director had the connection with the coaches. Yeah. So yes, obviously, if you were not behave, you will get punished.
That would get back.
You will get back to the playing time on the weekend, or also don't be able to practice with the team during the week. And at the end of the year, there were evaluation.
Of course.
If you were not behave, you may not continue to the academy.
Right. Yeah. Even if you were the best player in the academy, they looked for the balance of it, right?
Yeah, there were some players that were amazing. There were players that were amazing, but they were not behave. Right. And unfortunately, they didn't do the 3 years. Every year they had to have players that have to go away.
Yeah.
And some were amazing players.
For sure.
But the behave for us was everything.
Yeah. Kieran, was it a different experience for you, or fairly similar?
No, it was different because we don't really have that kind of school. I mean, I'm sure there are now. We have St. George's, the big complex.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have teams there full time. But for me, when I joined my first academy at 11.
Wow.
Excuse me. Yeah. So I joined Wimbledon in 2001. And we don't know Wimbledon. I don't know if you know Wimbledon now, but they were first division club, that went into administration. They went bankrupt in 2004. So in 2004, that's when I joined Arsenal.
Right.
And for me, I could feel the difference when I arrived at Arsenal, obviously, you know, because the stature of the club is much bigger. So Wimbledon, an amazing club, but didn't have the finances and stuff to have, you know, that level of infrastructure. So when I arrived, even though I played against them a lot of weeks, it was still a shock for me. So it took me like 2 years really to adjust. And that 2 years from 14 to 16 is a pretty important time as well, because that's where you get offered a scholarship to go full time at 16. And I barely got a scholarship. I just, if you would have lined up probably the whole team, I reckon I would have been in the bottom 2.
Really?
Yeah. So,
and for you, your environment was you were still going home at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right?
So we would train 3 times a week. Off straight from school, I would run home so that my mom or someone could drive me from, because, you know, I was traveling from South London all the way to North London 3-4 times a week.
Wow.
So, you know, it's hour and a half, 2 hour drive. So I found that tough to manage school with that, but obviously at the time I'm a kid, I'm just like, wow, this is amazing. You know?
Incredible.
And then at the same time I was going through the adjustment of joining a club like that, because, you know, you go there, the kids have been there since they're 7 years old. My teammates, they've all got Nike deals. They all got the same boots on. They're destined for stardom, you know, and they were amazing. Like Blaise said, there's, you know, at that level, it's like you're dealing with the best kids in the country.
Right.
So that was but I see that as like a very important time for me as I look back now, because it showed me the standard that, you know, that I needed to uphold in order to try to compete to play in the first team. So once I was given the scholarship, that was a huge moment for me to realize, okay, now I have work to do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Now it's starting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Liam Brady, who was the guy that brought me to Arsenal, he said, I'm going to give you a chance. He said, but you've got a lot of work to do.
Right.
You know, because you sit down in the meeting room and you know if you're going to be offered scholarship or not. And they have evaluated you for 2 years.
Right.
So then I realized, wow, like, one, nothing is guaranteed. And 2, this is my chance to really push myself and see how far I can go, you know?
Yeah. And was there the same conversations happening about school behavior? Did that communication happen between the academy and what you did at school, or even getting back to your parents?
I think that they take it into consideration, but once you go full time, once you're 16, that's when, because you do education with them twice a week in the afternoon. So you train every day from 16, but you also move to the first team training ground.
Got it.
You're a separate section, but you're not allowed to even go cross to the first team side until you're a first team player.
Yeah.
So I think being in that environment where you get to see the first team players from a distance, that also teaches you a lot, how they live. You get a small glimpse. You cannot see them train unless you're invited to go to train with them. It's a separate field, but you can smell it.
Yeah.
You can smell, okay, this is what, when they train, when they travel, when they have lunch, you see them in the gym, and it's designed to make you have that as your goal.
Right.
Like, I need to be there. Not on this side, I need to be on this side. So I think it's very like cleverly designed. And once you're there, once you start that journey, I found it extremely addictive. extremely addictive to compete.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I had the competition. I hated to lose. But I think going to that environment, it just naturally just takes you to that next level.
Yeah. And it's in your DNA, right?
Yeah.
That's everything you want at that moment to be part of it. Kieran, the picture's there. You're lifting the FA Cup. How's that feel?
Wow. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a huge feeling of pride, but I think it's almost as if I could describe the feeling at all, it's very difficult to describe, but probably a feeling of kind of all of the emotion of the last kind of 10, 15 years of your life, the ups, the downs, the work, the sacrifice, the good, the bad, and the ugly, all into one ball and an explosion.
Wow.
Yeah, all in a very quick rush.
And you see it in your face in there.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of relief as well, because we nearly lost this game. It was a very close game, but yeah, I think there's more relief in that face more than anything, to be honest.
Amazing.
I can feel that in your eyes, you know.
Yeah.
You can see, you know, all your 10, 15
It's like a
years
build-up
past.
almost, and then just...
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when you look at young players today, what do you think they're not being exposed to from the environments that you both just spoke about? Is there anything that you're thinking they're not exposed to that?
It's difficult to say because I think so. You know, soccer has changed a lot, no. But I said what he came through is something. I think it's something impressive, because to be able to see, you know, what's going on, you know, to see the value that can bring you. If you are in the first team, you can look and you see, okay, this is the way. That is something that I maybe didn't have the chance, you know, to have, because our training ground was, when I was in Troyes, for example, our training ground was another place. So I believe most of the kids that don't have this chance that, for example, Kieran had to see also this value, and it's because also of his talent, because to play in Arsenal, I think where you are there, when you were there, was already the team from Titi, Patrick Vieira,
towards the end. Yeah,
towards
the
end.
end. Yeah.
So yeah, basically, that is something amazing. I think right now there is a lot of good things that we have. Today we have the data. We have, you know, all this new company that came in and to help to people to be seen also. So it's a different type of approach. But to be honest, I love our approach. Our approach was such amazing. You know, it was everything natural. I remember in my time in Clairefontaine, I had the chance also to see the national team, because the national team was playing, was training, you know, one time a month there, and it was just, you know, just something incredible. And I remember one picture that I took with Patrick Vieira, and at that time I was playing left wing.
Yes.
But I took the pictures with Patrick Vieira, and I still have the picture at home.
Wow.
And it's incredible, because at the end of the day, I became a midfield like him. So, yeah, you know, this is the value that we had in our time. And yes, I think is things that make you feel that you are in the right place.
Yeah.
And you have the right to also believe that one day can be you.
Yeah. Yeah, unbelievable. And I mean, everyone sees like the big moments from both of your careers, you know, winning the World Cup or winning the FA Cup, and they see the headlines, but what they don't get access to a lot of the time is everything that kind of led up to it, you know, everything that kind of sits beneath it. So I wanted to ask, was there ever a point that you remember where you thought, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know if I've quite got what the other kids have got to go pro, and how that felt, but also what changed in you to take you out of that?
Yeah, definitely for me, I think going back, as I just mentioned, when I was 14 to 16, that 2-year period, I found that very tough, because of stepping up into that new environment from Wimbledon to Arsenal. You can feel how good the other kids are. And I think physically for me, I was down, I was lighter, I was smaller. I developed a little bit later. And so, when you have these kids that are physically bigger than you, they're very confident players. That was probably the time where I thought, oh, maybe I'm not, you have doubts.
Yeah.
Even though I knew I had a certain amount of technical quality and game understanding, when you're coming up and against these players, especially when, at 14, 13, some kids hit puberty, they develop faster, and they just have that upper advantage. That's why, when we talk about the kids that we have at 1FC, this is not a priority for us. Because I went through that where I wasn't as developed as another player. So when I see a kid that is underdeveloped physically, if I think he has something, on the technical, tactical, or mental side,
game understanding,
then I'm like, no, I will be patient with this kid, because that was me. I don't know what you was like physically at that age, but those years are very important. And I think that the club that I was at, and other clubs in Europe, many clubs, many top clubs, they don't prioritize that, because they know that players you develop physically up until 20, 21 sometimes. You can change up until 21 like that. I remember being away when I was 16. I changed a lot from 16 to 17.
Right.
And that was like my first year as a scholar. So when I started from 16, just turning 17, I started that season and I was like, wow, I could feel, I'm having a better understanding of my body.
So you could feel the change?
I could feel it.
During that time,
because you have rest. You have 6 weeks, summer holidays. And when you're a kid, you just go on holiday with your parents and stuff, and you're about to start this next chapter. You grow as well when when you have that summer off
space.
Exactly, in that space. So
which is interesting, because a lot of people would look at that and say, oh, maybe that 6 weeks away will hurt your progression, right? You've got to be training all the time, you've got to be playing all the time, but actually it can be a reset for you.
Massively.
Right? And you when you're away from it, you understand it differently.
Massively. And I think even mentally, even your understanding of the game, because sometimes when you starve yourself of the ball, if you love it that much, when you come back, you have that extra, you start to see things maybe a little bit different. If you're doing it every day, that's why I welcome rest, in our academy.
It's important.
Because I think that it's very important for the mental as well. And I've seen it happen many times where you have a kid, they're off for the whole summer, they come back and they're a different player. Something clicked, and they're starting to see the game a little bit different maybe. So yeah, this is also like a key part.
Yeah, that'll be exciting for next season then for 1FC, when you have kids come back after a bit of a break.
We've seen it in the
You've already seen it.
We've seen it, and for my part, it came a little bit earlier, between 12 and 14. In my time in Clairefontaine, I saw a big difference because you arrive, you are the best of our hometown. You are the
Yeah.
best,
Yeah.
and you arrive there, you see, oh, there is there is 20 like that,
Yeah.
and I was definitely not the best there. I was, let's say, the 20th maybe, and you see in the practice, you see, damn, the things that I was doing when I was in the marathon, and now is not
Yeah.
working as I would like, and you can feel also for your teammates, when you are young, you feel, in certain situation.
Mm.
So there, if you are not strong mentally, and I think in that time I make the difference mentally, because I knew I was not the best. I knew it, but I said I need to do more. I'm not saying more outside. I need to do more when I am in the practice. I need to do more than the other. That will save me. That was my mentality, and year after year I recover. I start the first year to be, let's say, the 20th, and then the let's say the 14th, and then one day the coach said, look, he look at me and he says, look, Blaise, he's not the best, but it will be maybe the one that will become professional.
Yeah.
Why? Because I can see that he's putting more in the field than many of you, and this was the reality, and this is the reality of football. Talent is not enough.
Yeah.
Talent is not enough, and this is why we try to tell the kids, even where they are the best now, we are even more engaged to them, because we say, my friend, you can be the best now, but tomorrow everything can change.
Yeah.
Is in French we say recommencement. Is a restart.
Yes.
Is a restart.
Yeah.
Is always you have to reset.
And there's always other kids who are saying, I've got to work harder to get to where you are.
Exactly.
Right.
So this is the main point, and that's why also I think for me the reset was very important.
Yeah.
True.
And was that just you, or did someone help you understand that mentality, or did you see it and say, I've got to work harder, I've got to do things differently?
I think I get that mentality because I was the last in the family. I had two big brothers, and I have one that I wanted to follow him all the time.
Right.
In to play outside. So he's 4 years up than me, and I wanted to be with him. Just to play with him. And so that forced me to say, I need to be the best, because my big brother didn't want. Say, you are too little, you cannot play with us. I said myself, I need to be with you. I will show you that I can play with you. So this mentality, stay with me.
Yeah. I hope you brought that up to him afterwards. After your career, I caught up to you. I can play at your level. But when we all look back on your career, on my career, whenever you look at what you've achieved, it's rarely done alone. And there's always a couple of people who are so important to some of those changes, or people that, saw something different in you. I think, Kieran, you mentioned Liam Brady being one of those people. What were some of those conversations like? What did he share with you about, what you could achieve, or what you could do, or what he saw in you?
Yeah. So, I mean, he was the one that brought me, obviously, when I was 14. And I'll be honest, I didn't know his career, because he played in the 70s and 80s, and
unbelievable player.
A legend of a player.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And obviously, as soon as I started to hear that he wanted to bring me, then I was finding out about him. And yeah, he was calling my mum a lot to try to get me to go, and my mum was reluctant to take me, because she didn't know if she would be able to make it work with the travel and everything. But obviously, it's very difficult to turn down not only Arsenal but also a guy like that, right?
Yeah.
Who has been a legend as a player, and now is telling you that he wants you to join one of the biggest clubs in the world. So eventually my mum had to give in.
Yeah. Made it work.
Yeah. But I think, his advice, when he gave me a scholarship, these moments, they never leave you. I remember it like it was yesterday. So I think this is also very important. And I realized this, at the time I realized it, but I didn't realize as much as when I was coming to the end of my career. Oh, this guy was really important in my journey, so that's why I look at this next chapter of my life and I think, wow, what if he did that, someone like that had an influence on my life. I need to try to do this for someone else, right? So this is why I dedicate this next chapter of my life to giving back, because someone always needs someone to look up to.
Yeah. It's unbelievable.
It can help. I believe it can help people, even if they don't become a football player.
Mm-hmm.
People need someone to try to
That's right.
Look up to. So,
and someone that believes in them, right? Sees something that you don't see, maybe, and you're still in contact with Liam, right?
Yeah. We're still in contact. I saw him in December when I went back to London. And we talk about influential people. You can't speak about this without speaking about family support, because being able to get to training and having that commitment from parents and family, and me, it was a collective of family members that made the commitment to get me to training, get me to games every weekend, from mum, dad, aunties, brother. So this you don't realize at the time. When you're a kid, you just you're not thinking, wow, this is such a commitment for my parents,
for other people,
because you don't understand the world like that. But it's, of course, once you hit teenager and you start your career, it's like, these people really were playing the big parts.
But
they didn't. For me, I think they did that because they wanted you to be happy.
Yeah,
it was not just that they see something on you,
not at all.
to be a professional one day. It was just the joy to make you happy. And I feel the same. My dad made a lot of sacrifice. He was working 1 hour and a half away from the academy where I was, and he was always finished late. So with the traffic and everything, it was almost 3 hours for him at the time. But he wanted just his son to be big commitment. He wanted just his son to be happy. He knew that I loved soccer, and this was his way to give back. And yes, as a Kieran, I had also the chance to have, let's say, some mentors, and Jean-Claude Lafargue, who was the coach of one of the coach in Clairefontaine, was one of them. I remember this conversation that we have each other one day, and you were very straight to me and say, if you want to be one day to think to be even professional, you need to play midfield. If you stay at your position, you will never be professional. And I had two choices. Right. Or I say no, I stay in my position, and I will not have what I've been doing, or I listen and I take that. I did, and yes, as from now, I always remember him. Always I had the chance to speak with him, and it was a game changer for me. Spending my whole Shieldwood as a 9, scoring goals, and now you have to tell me that I need to defend for the team, to play to defend for the other.
You got to run.
It was a big move for me, but this was what we also want to give to the kids, is to tell them, first you need also to listen
Yeah.
to the educators, because they are doing the things for you, not for them.
Yeah.
When we are in the pitch, this is the passion that we want to give to the kids, and all advice is good to listen, especially when you are 12, when you are 13.
Yes. Yeah.
You're still a kids, you understand? You're still a kids. You have a long way in front of you as a athlete, but also for your life.
Yeah.
And yes, so that's why my way, and I feel grateful to have listening.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting because I don't think it gets talked about a lot. Is what you said, is parents or friends that help get you to football training, the matches, whatever it may be. They're doing it because they see that you love it. Right? I think so often we think about, they might become a professional football player, right? As parents, you see it in the conversations, and maybe you don't see it as much as, actually, we just want our kids to have fun, right? We want them to learn in this environment. We want them to, be around people. We want them to develop new skills, to get better as players and develop and have fun while doing it, without focusing too much on what that end goal is.
Yeah. I mean, just to stay active.
Yeah.
Just to stay active, as well. It's like, how can I have my kid be active in a controlled environment so that he's away from trouble and he's not in the street?
Yeah.
That was the mentality from my mum. I think it was a perfect way for her to, keep us safe, and we enjoyed it. And I don't think for 1 minute she had an idea that I would become professional. I really don't.
Yeah. Do you think there's a difference between being coached by someone who studied the game versus someone who played professional?
Now it's easy to say that because we were in that world. But the reality is, when we were 11 or 12, me when I was 10, 11, 12, I was been coaching by coach that didn't even feel this knowledge of professional environments. But they were passionate. I think if you are around people that are passionate and want to give you back as a kids, as a player, but not just a player, as a person, I think that is the most important. Obviously, it's a value to have, let's say, someone who been in that game, who been in that environment, as an academy, for example. And yes, for us is we said unbrenner is a big value for us, and so we I think is something that have an advantage for kids, but it's replaceable also. I think if you, as I said, if you have someone that just give you the love, give you also know what it takes for you to improve, improve at this age. This is the most important, I believe.
I completely agree. I think both have certain values, right? So
you need both. It's a balance,
both.
Right?
You need both. And I remember being around coaches at Wimbledon or Arsenal as a kid that never played the game, but also having exposure to players that had played the game, and both bring different values. Because one thing is for sure, that the coaching is not the same as playing, and that's what the last 2 years have really taught me. So I have a lot more respect for coaches in general, because if you want to be a good coach, you have to dedicate your whole life, obviously, to this. And I think there are certain attributes and skill sets that you need just from a personality standpoint, in order to really coach someone well, to make them understand something. This is one of our biggest things that we focus on, is how can we learn from a coach that maybe hasn't played the game, but might see the game different.
Yeah.
And also, how can we bring our experiences from playing the game and transmit that into the coaches, into the players, and also into the parents. I think this is all a very important part of building a player.
And I think it's pretty special at 1FC because you have both. You've got the two of you and Sylvain, who played at such high levels, and then you've got great coaches as well. And it's that balance of how do we all help the player, right? How do we help kids develop the right way and have these different opinions and pieces of advice coming to them, right, at the right time. And so you're not leaning only on one. You're able to, Blaise, you're able to speak to a player. Kieran, you might speak to that same player. And then the coach is also imparting into them.
Yeah.
And that's pretty rare, right? To have that balance of people coming into what they're doing and learning every day.
Definitely.
I think what make probably the difference is that we are passionate, I believe that everyone can be a good coach, but the passion that you put every single day, I believe that make the difference.
Yeah.
It's not easy to work with kids. You have different style of kids. We're talking about behavior. We're talking, you are not just showing the way to play. You bring them value.
Yeah.
And that if you don't bring the passion, for me it's difficult.
Yeah.
So I think having Kieran and Sylvain, I can see when I hear them, I see the passion.
Yeah.
And so that is something for the kids that is different. Why? Is because we were in that world for many years, and we still love it.
Yeah.
So that is the love that we are giving to them. For me, this is the game changer for me.
Yeah, I love that. Let's transition into the US and moving to the US for both of you. At what point, Kieran, does the US become an option?
It became an option in January of 2021. My contract was expiring with West Brom, and I was, I think, 32 at the time. 33. I've lost track of the years. It was COVID during the time, so it was that crazy time. And I think, maybe that might have influenced me a little bit, where I was seeing, I think we was all experiencing huge change in the world.
For sure.
But also I think this was a chance for me to try something different. I'd played in the UK since I was 17. And I was approaching a time in my personal life where I thought an exposure to a new league, a different kind of culture, became more appealing to me.
Yeah. Did you always want to play in a different country, or?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I did. I was, for some reason, I had that in my head early, that it would be a very cool experience to move the country and to go and learn new cultures and different experience. So it was something that I'd always had in the back of my mind.
Yeah.
But I didn't know when that was going to come. And then after I spoke with David, obviously, and Phil Neville was a coach at the time, it didn't take me long after speaking with David that and a few other friends that told me about what was going on in Miami in particular, with the project of the club, and just something just hit me, and it took me probably 3 weeks to really decide, okay, this is going to be my next chapter.
Had you spent much time in Miami before that, or
maybe like 3 or 4 times?
Okay,
just during the holidays, vacation time, or when the season ends, for a few days.
So you liked it as a city?
I liked it as a city, but I didn't think of it as like, oh, I could live here one day. I didn't see it as a city to live. I just saw it as a city to come vacation. I didn't really know anyone that lived here. So that was what was appealing to me as well. It was a new adventure, a new market, a chance to experience life in a different way. And to be honest, I'm very happy that I made the decision. I didn't know that any of this was going to come of it, but I think that making the jump and packing your bags and just and leaving is one of the things that will teach you the most about yourself.
For sure.
I don't want to say I was comfortable in the UK, but I'm from there. I was born in South London. I spent 29 years there, and then I moved to Birmingham, but still, it wasn't too far from London. What is next for me? Can I push myself and emigrate to a new country and figure it out? You know? So I think that was the deciding factor for me.
Amazing. Blaise, how did it start? How did that conversation start to come to America?
Listen, I had the chance to win many titles, and there is a thing that came to my head in the last years that I was playing in Europe, is that when you win a lot, you don't feel anymore the value of what you've done. And I arrived in a time that I didn't feel that anymore, and I said, I need something new. I need something new because the passion is getting away of me. So, and with the COVID, it didn't help also, especially in Italy, where it was very hard for me. And then arrived these opportunities. David, with who I played in PSG, contacted me, and I appreciated the project, and also coming from David, and for me, I was feeling that is the moment to make this big move. In my head, it was I could not do more in Europe. I could not do more. I did what I did. I could not go far from that. So yes, I decided to go to 2020. Miami, I spent a lot of time there in holidays with my wife, and we like the city. And in my time, it was too city to live. Maybe after my career, it was or Dubai or Miami.
Oh, really?
So when it arrived, these opportunities, I spoke to my families and my wife, and we said, okay, maybe it's the moment. And in terms of football, I wanted to see something new, outside Europe, and see, see what will happen. I was dreaming to play Premier League, didn't happen, so I said I cannot anymore. I'm 32 at that time. It will be difficult now to go to Premier League. I don't have the stamina anymore. So that's why
I think you would have been amazing in it still. But but when you look at WhatsApp and Bex's calling, that he's going to ask the question. Come join me, right? Come
and
join.
It's difficult to say no to David.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You see him on the phone, and you're like, I probably should go. I should join him. Want to ask about when the two of you first met. What was that like? What did you think about the other person? I think you played against each other twice. in your career.
Yeah.
So you knew of each other, but then
Yeah.
Kieran, you joined into Miami when Blaise was still there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what was those first couple of meetings like?
Yeah, I remember a message that I received from Bakary Sagna, speaking about Kieran, and said to me, "Oh, I have a friend that is coming. Very good guy. You will love him, and he's a very good guy." And when Bak speak to me, I always listen because Bak he never lie.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, it was true, But at
stamp
that time,
of approval.
I couldn't realize that we'll have this this proximity, from day one. I see a guy different, in terms of thinking. It was not just a player; it was more than that. And I love that, because I was in the time also where I was thinking, okay, I'm playing, but soon it will be done. And I see on Kieran, like I said, not only a football player, but a guy that is thinking far, and he have big idea for his life, for for his future, and that helped me a lot, to prepare my after career, and obviously we became closer because we had we were the experienced player, so you needed also to be the example, and we were like the big brother of the teams, so the relation came very, very easy. The proximity came easy, and I'm lucky to have Kieran with me here. To be honest, I don't know if he was not here, I don't know if I will stay many years. Many years here. So yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah, there must have been something that stood out about Kieran for you to say there's more than just being teammates, right?
Yeah,
on the field, there's something else, whether you knew it in those early times, don't know. How about you, Kieran?
Oh, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to be able to top that, but I think, Back also messaged me, and luckily I got to play with many French players, so I think that helped. I understood, I felt, and also players that he played with, Koscielny, Giroud, that was an advantage for me, to be honest. So, I knew I was going to meet him, and I was very close with Bakary Sagna. He was someone who I idolized, when he came into the team. I was at the early stages of my career, and I looked at him as someone who I wanted to be, not just as a player, but as a person as well. So the fact that he, messaged Blaise was a huge credit for me.
Yeah.
And then we met, and I'm also not someone who's completely open. I can be shy, especially in front of, someone who I admire as a player. I didn't know him as a person, but I was nervous to be around him because of what he achieved, and the respect I had for him as a player is and will forever be extremely high.
Absolutely.
But then to realize and see someone from afar and know their career, to realize that the human behind completely dwarfs
what they've achieved,
all of this.
Wow.
Is like, that for me was extremely important.
Yeah.
To learn that you can achieve the pinnacle of football, and still you can see the person behind, and it's as though he has achieved nothing.
Yeah.
It's as
That's
though
pretty
he
special.
has achieved nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, that really taught me a lot about how far you can go in life when you don't have this kind of, ego, or it was like completely oblivious. I was completely oblivious to this, which is incredible, so that taught me that the person is much bigger than what they've achieved. So then I was just in love with the guy. I was like, wow. So, like, not only has has he done this, he has the character, the values, the morals, the discipline, all of these characteristics that you would think highly of a person. He has all of them.
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that I'm now can be, like he said, in this close proximity on a day-to-day basis. I'm literally I get to watch greatness every single day and be like extremely close to it every single day, because what goes into the club, into 1FC is all of these things. All of these things, the human, his personal experiences as a player, it is all piled into the club. And that's, why I'm very grateful, obviously, but also why, for me, I'm watching this kind of club grow, and it feels like I'm just a bystander a lot of the time, because I'm just watching something, whether I'm here or not. I know 1FC will be incredible because it has this behind it. You know?
Yeah. It's the DNA of it. It's the people, right? You can have any amount of talent, again, to run a successful academy, but what it comes down to is who are the people behind it? Who's leading it? How do you work together? And the third co-founder is Sylvain Marveau. Talk to us about how he became involved and became a co-founder with you.
So we have two kids. So I have one boys. You have also one, and we get the chance to play each other. So first time I see him on the pitch, and I say, "This is Sylvain." I played against him when he was in Rennes, and he played also under 21. So I was very surprised to see him in Miami. So I said, "What are you doing here?" And we started from there, and we started to discuss, and I tried to convince, because his son was pretty good. I said, I convinced to come to play in the team of my kids.
Coaching him to your kids too.
I scout already. So
he's not going to say no.
We started to have this discussion, and then I say, when I was speaking to him, I could see, that how smart he was. I knew him as a player. He was an amazing player. Unfortunately, his injury didn't let him do the career that he wanted, but he achieved a great career. And then we speaking, and I convinced him to maybe start something great for the kids, because we saw together that what's been, let's say, teaching in the day-to-day to the kids was not what we felt football have to be, and that was the big change for us here, is to realize that we can have a value here in America for the young soccer here.
Yeah, amazing. And the three of you together, I mean, that's a great team, because you all bring something different, I think, to what you're building, and that's the magic of it, right?
I will never be capable to do that by my own. I don't know, Kieran, but me, sometimes I just listen. I just listen, Sylvain. I just listen, Kieran, and I say, wow, I'm just impressed, and I think, the fact that we were raised in a different type of academies. And I respect a lot when Kieran speak, because, to be honest, to be raised by a club like Arsenal, it cannot happen to everyone. It's something huge. I didn't get the chance, so I have to respect that. And when I listen to the word that he's using, the way that he's talking, is so valuable, and it's the same from Sylvain. So I think the addition of all of us is just something irrepressible, to be honest. And I'm not talking about only United States. I'm talking even, I can say in the world, because, people I think don't even know. Sylvain, raised in Rennes, for example,
Mhm.
one of the biggest academy in the world, and he had all this brain, all this value of this, that he can give to the kids, and with the passion that he put. Yes, I can tell he's very impressible.
Yeah, yeah, and I've seen it. I've seen it, and I've been at training sessions, and it's pretty impressive to watch from the side the way that you all are so involved, and you see the passion, but you also see how you're speaking with players, coaches, parents. Right? It's an entire thing. Right? It's not just kids are showing up to training and then then they're leaving. They're getting an environment, right? Which you guys are building, which is very impressive to see from the outside. So let's talk a little bit about that methodology of 1FC. What does a typical week look like for a player in the academy? What are some of those things that you're ingraining in them, teaching them? What are they? What environment are they part of?
Well, I think if you break it down into kind of two parts, because obviously there's on the field, which is obviously the technical side and the tactical side and the mental side, and then as we mentioned at the beginning, there's obviously the off the field stuff. How you behave, how you conduct yourself. I think all of these things they come hand in hand. So I'll probably let Blaise do the on the field stuff.
Yeah.
But just from an off the field perspective, I think it's important, and it's different here. Obviously, right? The sport is different here, because back home, the sport was built from the ground up.
Yeah.
Right. So football was created by workers in factories, in churches, in different communities, and teams were formed, and then the structure was built around it. The Premier League came after football, right? So here the MLS was created first, and then the culture is still being built around it, right? And so you have to take that into consideration. This is no one's fault. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just different.
It's different.
It's just different. That's it. So I think what the idea of 1FC is that we inject a little bit of that ground up philosophy, right? From off the field, from on the field, and we try to give all of our experiences, even though they might be the smallest things, and try to change slowly. Not change, or add. I don't want to say change. I like to say add, because we can try to add something different, and see if it takes time, but to see if these things come to fruition. We have dedicated this part of our lives to try to do that. We don't know how we're gonna do. We're not here to come and say, we know right and you know wrong. It's not the case. It's just we have a unique set of experiences that we were lucky enough to live. How do we try to bring that to as many people as possible, that as many people that want that knowledge, right, and that experience. I argue with them on a daily basis about things that I want to try to do for the club. He come to me, no, I want to do it like this. This is a constant debate, because we're trying to form the best environment for the kids. If I can give you an example, me, I one thing that really I want to change, that I would like to change, is not to have parents step on the field, because it sounds very like a small thing, but I look back when I was young and I never saw parents step on the field.
Yeah.
Whether it's after a game, before a game, training, at any moment did I see that. And I think subconsciously as a kid, that makes you see the field as like, I'm lucky to be here. I'm lucky to be on the field. Not even my parents can come on this space. This is where I am free to express myself.
Yeah.
So I think that this comes subconsciously back home, but when I see it here, I think that just for the US, I think could be a powerful psychological tool to make the pitch feel a little bit more sacred.
Yeah.
You know, when you're at home, you realize, wow, these white lines, this is a special place.
Yeah.
You know, you see the field and it's like, you see the goals and it's like, wow, this is like, you only see the referees and the opposition on this field, you know, or the coach. And these are the small things that I think can go a long way in terms of injecting that culture that I was talking about.
Yeah. And Blaise, when you're talking with parents, what are you helping them understand about the environment that the kids are getting at 1FC on the field?
Yeah, I think when, as I said, when you have people like Kieran and Sylvain, to not speak about myself, it's something that you will not get in any other environment or club or, as I said, here or in another country. Is valuable, and as a parent, you just have to, to understand that this is the moment of your kids.
Yeah.
And it's difficult. I am a parent too. I have 4 kids. 3 kids are playing. Sorry, but what I learn is, this is the moment of my son or my daughters. It's not mine. My time passed already. I just have to enjoy. And also the kids. When you are kids, and I can feel it from my son, for example. You can see that when you are here, he want also to make you happy.
Yeah.
And no, he don't have to. You understand? You have to him be happy. I didn't need my dad to play well or wrong, or to know if I play well or if I play wrong. I know if I play well, I know if I play wrong. So this is the environment, like Kieran say, is the environment of the kids.
Yeah.
As a parent, you do that for your kids. You don't do that for yourself. And this is what I try to explain to the parents. And I understand it's not easy. We are living in a different worlds. In our time, the parents, they were not even, we were taking our bus to go to the practice. It was so different. But we have to live with that time. It's okay. But like Kieran said, to have this environment in the field where we have this connection with the kids. And especially when you have someone like Kieran, for example, I could leave my kids 2 years like this. I'm happy, For us is something important, because we believe in what we are doing, and as I said, we are bringing. I'm not saying that we will bring professional, but at least we'll bring good people.
Yeah,
good people, because this is where we came from. And the good people that make us after, maybe with the talent, maybe a good player. Saying that, if we go to the methodology but this is part also of the methodology, but if you go through the methodology, we have a structure as a club, with what we learn. We are not inventing football. What we learn in our past, this is what we want to give to the kids. And you have the little kids, let's say 7 years old, 8 years old. For us is okay. We teach them, but what we have to teach them, to enjoy, to have the ball in your feet,
Mm-hmm.
and enjoy it. That's
Yeah.
it. Not going to many things tactically or physically. Or no, the kids have the ball in the feet, and that is the most important. We want
Yeah.
the kids to be have fun, to be on the field, and yes, there is things to learn technically, because there are the moment that they need to have this relation with the ball,
Mm-hmm.
and then when you start to be even a little bit older, then we bring the let's say the environment. So
Yes.
how
Yeah.
you manage with your teammates, how you do in a day to day on the practice basis. We have some teams that practice 3 days. We have some teams that practice 4 days. The team who are practicing 4 days are the teams that are, let's say, bigger and more, let's say, in competition. Let's say,
Yes. Yeah.
so maybe they need to work on more on the stamina also. So
Mm-hmm.
that is part of our methodology. But we don't, as I say, we don't invent football. Football is your your foot,
In your
your
brain.
your brain,
Yeah.
and be able to play as a team,
Mm-hmm.
because we are not in the individual sport. So again, we try to have a daily communication with the coaches, because I think if the coaches, as I said, bring the passion with the knowledge that we try to bring them, they will be the first one to give that to the kids.
That's right.
So important to have an environment where the coaches feel that, okay, what we are doing as a structure,
Mm-hmm.
as a club, and not a coach that bring that to the kids. Because a coach, we are, let's say, we can be there today and maybe tomorrow we are not here.
Yeah.
But the structure is there. The structure stay always. So that is what we want to bring in 1FC, and also here in America. We believe that the football can be better here, and we have so much talent. To
Yeah.
be honest, we have so much talent, and now is how you guys understand, how you understand football, because we always say to the kids, your talent that you have in the foot it will be never enough.
Mm-hmm.
But here, how you prepare here, with all the challenges that you will have, depend on what you want to do.
That's right.
You can want to go to college, but also there you will have to be strong, because
Yeah.
you will have competition also there. You want to be in MLS. It's hard to become a player in MLS.
Yeah.
It's not easy. You have many challenges, and then you have another step to play maybe in Europe, which is even more difficult. So this is the way that we try to educate the kids. I like to use that word,
Mm-hmm.
to educate the kids on the day to day. And then yes, we try to be organized. We have a Buba, which is one of our directors, that is making an incredible job on a day to day with the relation with the methodology and what we want our coach to do on the pitch. And we bring our value to be able to be close. I am one of them that I like to be close to the player,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I believe, is in that way they will be able to understand more what we try to explain and put on the methodology.
Yeah. Really
The
important.
proximity that you can have with the kids is very important. That's why I like my coaches when they are close, when they give the feedback. The kids, they need to understand
Mm-hmm.
what they are doing. It's not just that you put something and you say, okay, play. No, you need to explain. They need to know. They need to know what they're doing on the field.
So I think it's interesting that neither of you have talked about results, about winning, right? And that's what we hear a lot about. Is I just want my kid to win every game, or that's success for an academy if they're winning the leagues or the competitions they play in. But neither of you have really touched on results. Why is it important to you running the academy that the focus is elsewhere? Focus is on development, it's on the mental, on how they're developing as players and behavior, who they are as people, right? Talk us through some of that, because I think it's part of the methodology, right? In what you've learned.
Yeah, I think the reason why it's important for us is because it wasn't a focus for us. Well, it certainly wasn't for me at 12 years old. Even at 12, 13, 14, it didn't feel like it was so results based. You know, if we lost a game, I don't think the reaction from training the next week was different. You know, I think they had a very good balance of keeping us very level-headed, you know, not to get too down when you lose and not to get too high when you win. And so it just felt natural that we would focus on what the coaches were making us focus on, and it just wasn't the results. It was more the smaller details of the game. The smaller details of the game that you don't really, if you're not a real crazy person about football, you might not even notice. And I think these things, they stick with you. So we sometimes, me personally, I'm not looking at the results of 1FC on the weekend. But what I am looking at is if I'm watching a game and I see things that we haven't coached or we are not in our methodology. If I don't see those characteristics, then that's what makes me disappointed, let's say, and want to do better. It's those little nuances of the game that for us are the core of the club, because this is just simply what we learned. When I make a pass, do I make the right pass? Do I make the right decision at that moment of the game? And do I put it so it's on his safe side, away from the defender, or did I get my angles wrong? These are the things, especially at that age, that I'm more concerned about. You know, how individually does a player handle the ball around his opponent? How does he communicate with his nearest teammate? The score will reflect on what we believe are the fundamentals of development. So if we are focused on the how, then we believe that the why will take care of itself, you know?
And in like the first 60 seconds of seeing a player for the first time at 14, 15, 16 years old, what are you noticing? If they've never stepped on the training field for 1FC before, that first 60 seconds that you see, what are some of the things that you're hoping to notice?
I like to say how the kids run. You know, I can see already if it's a good player or not. The way that he run,
the mechanics,
the mechanics, how he's coordinated. You know, because I believe a good players will be coordinated, will have a good mechanic. You know, because the mechanic is everything.
How they move,
how
everything.
they move, the way. Yes, exactly. So for me, this is the most important. And going back on what he said, Kieran, we are competitor. We are winners. You know, don't get us wrong. You know, we are competitors, but there is the why. You know, and how we got to have winners, not only in football but in life. This is the most important. That this is the why we are doing that. For us, it's a big achievement where we are a player that maybe he's playing in the third, in the fourth team, but 2 years, 3 years after, you see him playing in the first team, and you know, playing in the best competition. It's a win also. It's a big win, you know, because yes, he developed properly, because the kids learned, the kids understood, the kids fight working hard, understood, you know, where you have to go and what you need to do to be there. So this is why we said always, with Kieran said, we pay attention on every single kids. That's why for us is yes, developing the players to be able to be a winners in the futures, not now, in the futures, to be a winners. We always think about building.
What they're building. Kieran, you got to share the story about when you were, I think, 15, 16.
Yeah.
And, the lists went up at the end of the week of what team you were going to play in at the academy.
Yeah. So from that kind of 14 to 16 age, you would train 3 times a week and then you have your game at the weekend. But I think what they did a good job of was exposing kids that deserved to push them to their limits. So a lot of players from U16 would play many times in a season in U18. And I used to think, wow, there's so many kids being pushed up and playing against players that were much bigger and more developed. But they you could tell that they would do these very selectively. They wouldn't just put anyone. And we would look on the list on a Thursday, and you would have the kind of U16, U18. And my name for most of those 2 years I stayed with my age, because I was, underdeveloped physically, and I didn't deserve at that time. That was that kind of difficult period. But that is why, as Blaise mentioned, why we focus on the kids in the second team. If there was a second team at Arsenal when I was there at 14, I would have been in the second team, for sure. So that goes to show that even up until 15, 16, things can change very, very fast. And if I look back at that team now, I went on to spend the next 10 years there, and out of that whole group, I think maybe 1 or 2 made a couple of appearances for the first team. And so that just goes to show that we cannot turn our eyes on anyone, because their rate of development is the most important, especially at that age.
I think it's such a fascinating way to view the game, and the coaches at Arsenal who even saw you in those moments, because they were looking at certain things, right? Of how's Kieran thinking about this, and when is he ready, right? So I think that's important, that there's some of that in 1FC, right? Some of that methodology as well, and the way that you are talking with players. Now, there's always the theory, and then there's the proof. You've had, some players go on to sign pro contracts this year at other clubs. Do you want to talk a bit about those kids that have left 1FC to go on to other academies and pro clubs, and kind of what made them different, right? Because I think, again, there's talent, but there's also the mental side and who they are as an individual.
I think we get lucky to have, when we started, great player also, that believe in what we are doing, and we are players that have some quality, to be able to pass steps, right? Then professionalism, to be able to be a professional player is even another story. There is other factors also. So, but we have the chance since we started to see that what we bring to these kids help them to pass certain steps, and also their quality, because we have to recognize that, as I said, there is some players that came also with good talent, and many of our players now are getting scout and go to trials to big, let's say, big professional club here in MLS. and we are glad for of that, because this is our main goals. We try to build the players, then to give them the opportunities. Maybe one day will change if we have, let's say, us a professional club. We never know. We are. When we were young, we were dreaming to the best things. So
Of course.
and we achieved our things. So we are in the same way now. But happy to see that our players get scouting, our players get viewing, and that show also the work that we've been doing. This year we have almost 10 players already that
Wow.
went to trials at it and scouted, and one player already signed to Orlando City. Kieran don't know, but one also will probably sign this week or next week. So we we are happy for them, obviously. But yes, for us is also early, because we believe that we can do even more, and we have more to give them. But they will be also there in a good environment. But it's also the fact that we are doing great things. We are doing great things. Us, the coaches also, we have to recognize that the coaches also, the whole club is doing great. The whole club is doing great. We have a great organization on and off the field. And what we just want to say is, let's us work. Let us work. Maybe speaking on the parents is believe on what we're doing, and we are in the right direction. We believe on that, and we have the results. As I said, we have the result in the big kids, because the team that are playing MLS, or the team that are even not playing MLS, are doing great in the game. Let's not speak only about the result, but also what we see in the game. We see the improvement of the kids. We see kids that are moving, like I said, from the third to the first team. And that for me is the biggest wins, is the biggest wins, because you see the jump. If you see that jump, that means the kids, I've learned many things. So yes.
You're creating a pathway, right? Whether it's within the academy and they're moving from the third team to the first team, or they're going from 1FC and they're going to maybe a pro club, right? Or they're being scouted and getting an opportunity there. That signals something for parents, right? Who are looking at 1FC as maybe, an academy that they want to send their kids to. Kieran, what would your message be to those parents who are seeing, some of the kids from 1FC being scouted and moving to pro clubs? What would you kind of talk to them about if they're like, oh, I want my kid to be on that journey as well?
I think the biggest thing would be trust. I think the biggest thing has to be trust, because, I think take me out of the equation. You have with Sylvain and Blaise, you have a combined experience there, and it's something that is pretty unique, because you don't typically get a player of this stature focused on at grassroots level. Normally Blaise goes back to PSG and becomes a coach, and then works his way up into management, or goes to be director of top club in the world. The world is his oyster, because he's reached the pinnacle. So I think it's just such a unique, even I kind of see it as an outsider. If I was a parent, wow, I would find it incredibly lucky that my kid would be under the supervision of someone like this. So I think that in itself comes with a certain level of trust. It has to, when you've reached that level. So that would be my biggest message, to be honest. I have a 2-year-old boy, and whether I'm at 1FC or not, for sure in 5 years, if he likes football, he's going to 1FC. So I think that would probably be my biggest message.
Yeah, excellent. Now Miami, it's working. You've got a lot of teams a lot of players across all age groups. So you've proven the model, right, at 1FC. Why expand?
As I said, when we arrived here, I included also Kieran, I think, and we came with that idea, was we want to leave something here in the youth football. And why having only let's say kids from Miami maybe take that chance? We want to give the chance to anyone here, because personally I love the country. I'm happy everywhere where I pass, and I get also sometimes recognized, and it make me feel good, and I say yes, I have to do my role. I have also to do my role, and I always say that since I retired, I want to do something to give back.
Yeah,
to give back, to leave a legacy. So that's why we try to be well organized, and to be able to make most of the kids that we can take this profit.
Yeah, brilliant. So Houston, now Boston. You've got academies in both cities. Why Boston?
Well, Boston,
I think there's someone important there.
yeah. That's first and foremost. I think I was contacted by Robbie last year, Robbie Robinson, who we both played with at Inter Miami. Beautiful player. Huh? Oof. Honestly,
number one in the draft, right?
Yeah. When I joined Inter, I remember seeing him the first day of training, and I thought, wow, he's playing like someone of real high capacity, high level. He had everything: the balance, the quality to hold the ball, to be direct, his dribbling, and just the way he played the game felt like, wow, he's been very well coached, fundamentally as a player. And I really enjoyed the moments that I got to play with him. It was very unfortunate with injuries. So he retired earlier, maybe 24, 25, I think, sadly. But also has dedicated his next chapter into, adding value where he can in the game, and moved to Boston with his partner. And I think he went into private training to help kids more on the individual side, but had a lot of people reaching out to him to say you should start a club. And I think just from seeing me on posting, he caught wind of it on social media and reached out to me and just said, I want to see what you guys are doing. I think you would be great in Boston. I'd never been to Boston before, only to play against New England. So I didn't know the city, but very interesting market, to be honest. I flew there over a month ago now to just scope out the place and get a feel for the people there, because as we said, our headquarters is here in Miami. So we cannot do it alone. And we need people that we trust and we know well,
have the same
that
passion,
will have the same kind of exactly,
drive for it.
And in that, I learned very quickly that Robbie has this same kind of energy as well, because he takes a lot of energy. So I think he is an amazing addition for us in a market that has a lot of talent. One of the oldest markets. I think the first football club was formed in Boston, so they have a heritage there.
Amazing,
which is also interesting for us. So I'm very excited to get going in Boston. I think it could be. I think we could do amazing things there, because we have that trusted partner that we speak with all the time. We will obviously be going there. We obviously go there. We'll be going there a lot. We will keep kind of switching around and making sure that we give the places attention and know we want to hone in on all of the details, because if we want to be successful in the other markets, we have to go there. If we want to produce their players, right? We have to be present. Yeah. We have to feel what is the culture like here in right. Houston. What is the culture like in Boston? Is it different to Miami? Mm-hmm. Because then maybe we have to change our we have to change our adjustment and figure out, okay, this market, we might need to change some things here, and we have to be very adaptable because the game is changes fast. And
I think a lot of people don't realize that you're not just co-founders, but you're on the fields, that you're with these kids, that you're involved from the start of the day to the end of the day, right? Which is a different model, right? To what many would have experienced, right, before, especially in some of these newer markets. But your involvement, the three of you as co-founders, of being so involved in the decision making, I think is a really important part, right? As you build, how you scale, how you make an impact. And then it's who else is important to build that with. People like Robbie, of course. So important. So 5 years from now, what does 1FC look like? Without giving too much away, but you know, where's some of that vision to how do we do this?
Listen, we have big vision. I personally, I will let then Kieran speak, because I like to speak on the present, and think we can be proud already with what we've done, and you know, I couldn't do it if I was not engaged on the field, like he said, be able to travel, for example, in Houston or Boston, to feel that, you know, to feel it, not be able to have the coaches on the day to day, or in Boston or in Houston or in Miami. I needed to be engaged. I needed to feel this energy, you know. This is a passion. I wake up 1FC and I sleep 1FC. You know, sometimes my wife she's not happy, but it is what it is. I'm like that.
You can't change it, right?
I love what I'm doing. You know, it's the passion. You know, and I want to continue to enjoy. Obviously, to keep improving. I don't know where it will take, but I am a winner. As I said, I get the chance to have this amazing trophy, but that came with the work. I work hard, and this is what I want to show to the kids. It's, you know, you can have a big dreams, and you have to believe on that, but that will come with the hard work. So I am I am people around me that are amazing, and I'm happy to do that every day with them. And yes, the future is I think it can be only amazing.
It's exciting. We got to mention the World Cup. It's like you brought it with you, which is special. Right, to be this close to it. Can you tell us a bit about the story? About was this given by FIFA? Does every player on the World Cup winning team get a World Cup?
Basically, let's say the one that you see when you are in the pitch. This one you have 10 minutes in the locker room, and then you have to give back to the. And
everyone gets their pictures and then
close. And then every player gets that one get the chance to have one. And yes, I get this chance. And when I look back, was just a kid that dreams. And so I achieved my dream, like I said, with work. I had a lot of challenges, you know, inside the pitch, outside the pitch, but I had just a goal, and I wanted to stick on that, you
Yeah.
know. And this is what I want to give to the kids. You can have any goals. We are here just to help you. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, you are the ones. You are here just to help you. And as I said, you have kids that have different goals. Maybe one can be doctor. Okay, we will help you to be a good person,
Yeah.
because maybe the tools that you get from the sport, from athlete, will help you when you will be the doctor tomorrow.
Absolutely.
So this is what we want to bring to the kids. And yes, it's a big achievement, but it didn't came, to be honest, it didn't came with only my talent.
Yeah.
As I said, I was definitely not the best in every ages, but I had that mentality of winners, and this is what I want to bring to the kids today.
Yeah, amazing. And Kieran, it's been 32 years since America hosted the World Cup in '94.
Mhm.
A lot has changed in the US with the soccer system and what they've achieved in the 32 years since. The MLS came about. There's been new teams, franchises, new stadiums. Women's soccer in the US has grown exponentially. What do you think is going to happen after this World Cup? Again, being in the US and with ONE FC, being in the US as well. What's the impact of that?
Well, I think if you look at history of wherever World Cups go, there's always a huge influx into the country of that kind of World Cup fever, they call it, obviously.
Yeah.
And many people are going to be tuned in, especially in a world like today where technology is a lot different than it was in '94, right? So the world has changed so much. It's like you said, since the last World Cup's been here. So I think that can only be great for the country to see how far the sport has come even since then,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting a big surge of interest in the sport, and I think we seeing it even at our small level with the people that register, the number of people we have registering for tryouts.
Yeah,
and
wild.
This for me has even changed since I've been here. I've been here for nearly 5 years now, and that interest just keeps growing. Like, it just keeps growing every year. And obviously, we talk about what Beckham did here, what David did here, and now you have the greatest player in the history of the game, like here in Miami, in particular. I think you have to look at these signs and say that the sport is definitely not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, in which direction it goes is a tricky question to ask, because obviously we spoke earlier about the structure. Some systemic things here are just different to Europe, so it's difficult to call where that will go in terms of how it compares to other markets. But I see it as this. I see this year as a very unique year that could bring the sport to another level in the US. Yeah. The MLS is growing every couple of years. There's a new franchise going, and so I don't think that's going to slow down. Mm-hmm. They're still bringing the world's best players here, and I think we've seen other markets bring top players, and then it kind of goes a little bit quiet. Yeah. But I think America's really actually been consistent to bring in high level players to this league. So I think that will only continue. And I think the biggest differentiator is going to come from what happens at the ground level.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's no good just focusing at the top level. You have to focus on what's going on at the grassroots level, at the ground up. So I think that there probably needs to be maybe some difficult decisions to make in order to improve that, because there's still big question marks going to come over the US national team over this summer, right? As to where is the US at national team in the world right now, and those questions will come. That's for sure after the World Cup. So that is going to lead to people having to come to the forefront and say, okay, what are we doing about this? How can we improve? How can we produce more top world-class players? Because America has produced some world-class players. Let's not forget that have competed in Europe. But I think probably in a country with 350 million people, I think the question is, why are there not more? Why are there not more top level US players? And I think that the biggest differentiator is going to be what's being focused on the ground level. Yeah,
I agree. Well, let's finish with something a bit more fun, with some quick fire questions. We'll start with you, Kieran, and then Blaise, if you can answer afterwards. But just short, quick answers. So, Kieran, funniest teammate you ever had?
Funniest teammate, probably Santi Cazorla. Santi Cazorla was just this little Spanish guy that just came from nowhere, and he, the way he adopted like the English culture into his language and stuff, he really killed me sometimes. He had a funny way.
I would say N'Golo.
Oh yeah,
N'Golo in national team was so funny to spend time with him. The difference between what he was doing on the field and then outside. It was he's so
different
shy,
guy.
never speak, and always when you were speaking, he hide himself. It was so funny.
Amazing guy.
Amazing guy.
Most underrated teammate
as a player?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a difficult one. That's a good one.
Throw us a curveball.
I would say depends what you mean by underrated.
I think many players were, let's say, underrated. You have player that was just incredible, and you didn't see the light on them on television.
Yeah.
And, people were not speaking about them the way they should speak.
I think Alex Song for me.
Alex Song.
I think he was underrated. I think he did a job that you don't always see from the outside,
right?
But the way that he allowed the players in front of him to be creative and do what they could do, he provided for us at certain times while I was playing with him.
Didn't always get the credit.
He just provided an incredible infrastructure, because we were a very attacking team, and so we like to play this kind of fast football on the ground, and you have to commit bodies forward a lot, but he behind has such an eye to smell danger, but also to release the ball to the creative players. And he was also creative at times in his career. He was he was incredible. But then I would say Abu Dhabi, but it's different because he had many injuries, unfortunately. But I think for me, he goes down as one of the great players that I got to play with when he was fit.
Yeah, I would say same things at Bujabi. You know, I get the chance
Oh wow.
Oh yeah.
to
There you go.
I get the chance to be with him in the national team a couple time, and he was just amazing. You know, for me, if he was not injured, he will probably the one of the best in the world.
Wow.
Yeah, but as I said, many players that I had the chance to play, some of them were underrated. We can speak about Cavani when I was with him in PSG at that time. You know, there were many stars, so you know he was on inside that, and it was difficult for him to, you know, to but the fans recognized a lot his work. You know, he was just a hard worker. You know, and I love that.
Yeah. Okay. Pre-match meal. Did you have a pre-match meal that you had it for every game?
Pasta.
Pasta.
Yeah, pasta. When I arrived to Juve, you know, me in my past, it was when I was in Paris, it was hot chocolate with you know, with some bread, and you know, when I was Juve, I saw guys at 5 p.m. taking pasta. I say, "What you doing, guys?"
Yeah.
Oh, here's like that.
You were changed when you had it. Oh,
I say, I have to be Italian.
Yeah.
Let's go, and it became an habit.
That was
Same,
amazing.
actually, same.
Pasta.
Yeah. Pasta, a little bit of chicken or fish, but
Right.
even sometimes for the early kickoffs, you know, the doctors and the nutritionists, they would always recommend before a game, they would recommend pasta, and sometimes you eating pasta at 7:30 in the morning. You know, it's not.
Amazing.
But yeah, I would say that was my go-to.
Yeah. Nerves before kickoff. Were you nervous before games?
Oh yeah.
Either of you?
Yeah. Definitely. Maybe not so much as like your first
when you first
game.
start playing. Yeah.
I think your debut is always going to be probably your most exciting moment, especially as someone who's is young. You know, I made my debut at 17, so it's a completely new world. You know? You know, and then after you get more used to it, but yeah, certainly nothing can beat the first game. The first game nerves, you know.
Yeah, I always say to my head before the game, I cannot miss my first 3 passes.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I have to win. Wow. I have to make good passes for my first 3, and then I'm good.
Yeah.
If I miss these 3, my game was done.
All right. This one is definitely a question I'm excited to hear the answer for. Favorite pair of boots that you wore?
Oh, in career or in all of
your life? It might have been a pair when you were like 6 years old and first getting into playing, but
the most memorable has to be the R9. I don't know if the Tiempos maybe they were called at the time. The silver blue with the yellow, and the R9 on the tongue and on the back was like, you know, I was obsessed with Ronaldo. So that picture of those boots when I opened that box for the first time was just like incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember but it was Nike, obviously. I can't say it was a brand. But
we'd have to cut it otherwise.
No, I had the chance with Nike to have many. You know, they had many good. How do you say that in English? Boots. There are many good boots. I don't have one that stayed in my head. I had the chance to wear many good boots.
Yeah. Best shirt you ever played in, for club or country? The best jersey, the best shirt. Like your favorite?
Yeah, I would say the Paris one. I remember with Jordan. One game we played away against Madrid. It was black and was the Jordan in pink over there.
Oh,
it was just amazing. Yeah, with the number on pink behind. We love that. I love that jersey.
Yeah. Do you still have one?
Unfortunately not. All the families took it.
Yeah. Kieran?
That's a tough one. We had some
Arsenal have had some
a range
great
of different cool shirts. I think this one was cool because it was pretty different with like the blue stripe on the sleeve. I think that was like a kind of a new moment for the club, but there was also some really cool like yellow. I like the yellow jersey away kit jerseys were
and they've
nice.
remade some of those, haven't they?
Yeah. That, you know, those kind of banana yellow colors. Yeah. They're always just like the iconic ones, you know, because you always, you know, as a player, you're looking at the teams that were before you, and then when your jersey comes out, it's always like you're looking for the references of the old old kits, you know. Yeah. So there was some pretty cool ones. Yeah.
Amazing. A couple of questions about career. One moment in your career that you'd relive again.
After relive
it, yeah, that you'd do again just to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Camp Nou, Barcelona Cup Nou 2017. I need to play again this game.
Yeah.
What a game.
Unbelievable.
Jeez.
Yeah.
My God. Yeah. Oh my God. Probably it's tough to obviously beat an FA Cup final. I think well, for me anyway. Wait, sorry, I'll answer that again. I didn't mean it like that. I meant we'll cut it. For me, I think I mean they're obviously an FA Cup final was up there, but I think even probably my debut was just a big moment because you think it's like everything before that happened up to that point, like kind of flashes before you, you know, so it's like the moment is actually right in front of you and you're approaching it. And so that comes with a certain thought process, you know, of wow, like I put in all of these the work and now you actually get there. I think that's always just a different kind of feeling. Yeah. It's just a different kind of feeling for me.
Best stadium atmosphere you've experienced?
Bernabeu. Yeah, Bernabeu. You know, the stadium. You feel that you are in a big club.
Yeah,
you know, you can feel that.
Crazy.
I never played at the Bernabeu. I would say Anfield. I think if I had to pick one, Anfield probably. There's a couple more that are close, but Anfield is someplace. Yeah, it's definitely someplace. Yeah.
Atmosphere, unbelievable. What's the best city you lived in during your career?
The best city
that you lived in?
We'll say Paris.
It's got to be
Paris.
London.
I think you know, I was there, and the fact that my family was close to me. I didn't have the chance to be close to my family when I was young. So yeah, that was some of the best moments in my life in terms of a professional player.
Yeah. London, obviously. It has to be London for me. You know, I enjoyed Miami and Birmingham when I was at West Brom. But yeah, it's just different when you're obviously born and raised there and then end up playing for a team that's in London as well. And will be tough for me to say anything else.
Yeah. I thought London was coming. One thing that you don't miss about playing football?
Traveling. You know, go to the hotel and waiting all the time.
There's just so
before the
much time
games.
spent just sitting around.
Spending alone.
Yeah.
I don't miss that.
Yeah. That's definitely one for me, I reckon, as well. And injuries. You know, I had some significant injuries. That was pretty difficult. Now I look back, was a very difficult time for me mentally to come back from them, or the feeling of being out and you feel separate from the team. I struggled a lot with that. I don't miss that.
Yeah,
I don't miss that.
The final couple of questions here. One word to describe your career.
Oof.
Work for me.
Work.
Sacrifice, probably.
And then football gave you, finish that.
I don't want to say everything, but it's close to everything.
Close to everything. Yeah.
Close to everything.
I will say the same.
Yeah.
All.
Yeah.
Give me all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, for me, this has been special. Appreciate you both. You know, I think we've got a really good idea of what you're building, right? And the legacy that you're creating at 1FC, and excited to see what comes next.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.